audio, and transition, and wave. Hello, everyone. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing all right. I'm just gonna bring my mic a little closer to me, see if that does anything. Probably should not be doing these types of changes live, but it doesn't matter. We just do it. All right. Oops, wrong button. Refresh. I don't have exciting stories to share between yesterday and today. So
Nope, nor do
I'm
I.
ready for some Sudoku if you are.
Yep.
All right. I guess one thing I did was I changed up the. I moved my camera down and to the right a little bit, and then I added some more visibility on the thing. I guess one other thing I could do, if I click this, is I could probably get it so that the if I do that, maybe transform, edit, transform. Then we can probably get the timer visible. Actually, hold on. Where is the timer? The timer's all the way over there. Well, I kind of just want to maximize the browser, so never mind. So while we're making changes live, we're just gonna maximize the visibility of the puzzle. Alright. Lock that back down. I guess before I do that, I'm not delaying for any particular reason, just because it's fun. Alright. Good enough. Transition. And alright. So, first puzzle for today is 7 Arrows by Odd van de Wettering. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along an arrow must sum to the digit in that arrow's circle. In this puzzle, all circles must contain different digits.
Okay.
Let's go there, that, there. Alright, now we're ready. Well, some of these can be 2. Five and 9. 7 is out of these. This one can't be a 6, but anything that's on a corner can be a 2. Oh, I guess this one's not an 8. Now, where could I put 9 in the central box? Well, 9 isn't 7, and if I put a 9 on any of these arrows, it would have to add with one other digit, and that would make 10. So that obviously places 9 here. So it takes it out of that one. So then somewhere there's an 8. And wherever that 8 is, it must pair with a 1. And that 8 doesn't work. This 8 doesn't work. This 8 doesn't work. And you can't put 8 in either of those. So 8 has to be one of those two. Therefore, 9 is one of those two. And this one isn't 9. I should leave... If I can click the right buttons here. First try. If I can think of where I would place a 6, because that's the next largest digit. That would have to be paired with... Well, I could pair a 6 with a a 2 and get 8, or a 1 to make 7.
Three to get 9.
No, because 8 and 1 is 9. And the circles are unique.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I guess we know that one of those is 1. Well, if one of those is 1, this can't be a 2. And if this was a 2, then that would be a 1, and then that couldn't be a 1 to make an 8, 1, 9. But I could still make either of those be 2. Can I think of the restrictions inside of here more? Because obviously if the 6 was over here with the 8, or even here, it would have to pair with a 2 and make 8. And then that 8 would go in there. Although I guess you couldn't put a 6 and a 2 and make 8. But if I did 6 in any of these, it could be paired with 1 or 2 to make 7 or 8. So,
Now, if the 1, 8 for 9 is in row 5,
yeah,
then that other circle becomes a 6 with a 2 and a 4. So that leaves 3 and 5 for the outside, and there's no reason that the outside can't be 3 and 5. Okay.
Well, do I know that 2 and 3 have to be mutually exclusive? Or could I do 2 and 3? So let's say this was a 2. Could I put a 3 anywhere else? Or maybe let's place the 2 down here. It's less restrictive. Clearly I couldn't put 3 in either of those two. I couldn't put 4 in either of those two either. Although this could be a 4 with a pair of 2s.
You wouldn't be able to put 3 in box 7.
Right.
Or box 1 or 4, because that would interfere with the 1.
Right. So 3 or 4 would have to be here if I used a 2. So I have to have every digit except for 2, 3, and 4, which I have 2 of those. And I don't think there's going to be a problem with both 3 and 4, because I can just alternate the ones.
Right.
Because I could put 3 or 4 here, with the 1 on the inside, and the 2 or 3 on the outside. So that brings me back to thinking about the digit 6. You can't put a 6 here. This would have to be 6 and 2, which is possible.
Well, if it goes in that bottom left corner, then it has to be 6 and 2 also. Because 1 is in the column.
Right. I guess, where do we know that 1 has to be in here? Well, if I put a 1 in the middle, that has to pair with either a 2 or 3 or 4. I cannot do a 1 on the inside and a 6 on the outside to make 7. Because I either have 2, which forces a 1 on the inside, or I don't have 2 and I have 3 and 4.
Right.
Although, is it theoretically possible that I could do 2 and 1 and 3 and 1? I don't see why those would be broken. So maybe that line of reasoning wasn't even correct either. Okay. Well, I didn't cover both options for 2. If this was 2, that had to be 3 or 4. If this was 2 and a pair of 1s, you'd have a 1, and that one would be broken for both of those. That one's broken. That one would be broken. That one would be broken for 3 and 4. And that would be broken for 3 and 4, and that's clearly 9. So actually, that can't be a 2 at all. So if I have a 2, it's down there.
Okay, in box 6, that circle cannot be a 3. Because if it's a 3, it uses 1, 2, and 3. So which eliminates everything for the one in box, because you can't use 3, you can't use 4, you can't use 5, 6, or 9.
A 4 would be 2 and 5 over here. Minimum, which is 7.
And you can't do that.
And since I couldn't do 1 and 8, because I have to put an 8 in here, and that has to pair with a 1, to get at 9 because the 7 circles are unique. So a 4 isn't allowed here.
But 2 and 6 could be 8.
Yeah.
So a 4 would still work.
Could a 3 on this side work? Well, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is 9. So 3 there doesn't work. But like you said, if this was a 4, 2 and 6 is 8.
Right, so the one in box 6 can still be a 4.
This one could be a 4?
Yeah, because that would be 1 and 3. 1,
But then
3,
over
and 4.
here, what could this be? 2 and 5.
Well, 2 and because you took the oh no, that can't sum to 8. Never mind.
Because if we did 4 here, that's 1 and 3. Now we can't do 1 and 8 for 9. And then
5 is eliminated, 6 is eliminated.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 9 is.
Because I was thinking, well, 2 and 6 sum to 8, but there's an 8 in that box.
Yeah.
Just unobservant.
Unfortunately, that doesn't help us more for the diagonals, because the diagonals aren't as restrictive.
Right.
And then this one doesn't have one across from
them. If there is a 2 used, it has to be in that corner. Which
I could do 2, 3.
No, I mean if 2 is in a circle, it has to go in box 9.
Right, yeah.
So if 2 is in a circle,
yeah,
then 3 would have to be in there, and that would have to be 3 or 4.
Yeah. With the one on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Which means the 1, 8 is in, and the box 6 becomes a 6, and it has to be 2, 4.
Well, this would have to be a 3 and a 4. Do 3. Can't do 3, 4, or 6.
Well,
and then it would be 5, 7, 8.
Box 5, it's left with 2, 4, 5, 6.
Well, the 5 and the 6 would have to be used.
Right.
And that would be 1 and 2. But none of these. So they'd have to both be paired with 2. So it's 5, 5 and 2 for 7, and 6 and 2 for 8.
And 2 and 3 for 5. Or no.
Yeah.
4 and
2 and 3 for 5. Because it can't
right.
be 4, 1.
Right.
So this would be 4 and 2. So that's a 3. So that's 2 and 3 for 5, which it can't be. Because these would have to be the 2s for the 5, 6 pair. So that breaks 2 as a possibility.
Okay. So 3 and 4 both have to be used.
Yeah. So we learned what our digits are. Okay, so if we have both 3 and 4, this can be 3 or 4, where we put the 1 on the outside, or 1 on the inside. Although, you can have a 4 with a pair of 2s.
Right.
This one's the only one that has to be 1, 3. I don't know if painting them helps.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, if we do this, we still have that. And now 6 is out. And what's left over? 7, 8, 9 is the only thing that's removed.
And both 5 and 6 would have to go with 5 and 6 have to go with 7 and 8.
Right. Because 5 can't go with 6, it has to go with 7 or 8. And since 6 already had to go with 7 or 8, 5 and 6 have to go with 7 or 8. So then, if 6 went with, so that would be 1, 2, and 3. But I'm not certain how that impacts, because if 5 and 6 both have 2, then 5 is 7 and 6 is 8. But
Right.
if they're 1 and 3, 6 is with 1 and 5 is with 3, and there's more wiggle room. Because if they're both 2s, I'd have one on top and one on the bottom. And they couldn't align corners. What would 4 have to go with? Well, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is already taken, so 4 would have to pair with a 1 for 5.
Right.
So, or 2 for 6. But you couldn't put 4 and 1 over here. You couldn't do 4 and 1 for 5. Or 4 and 1 for 5. You could do 4, 1, 5 there. I guess the question is, how large can these digits get?
Well, we know 5 and 6 have to be in box 5.
Yeah.
And they pair with 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Now, a 4 would pair with a 1 or a 2 to get 5 or 6. Right, 3
has to pair with 1 and 2.
So
3 is the largest that those can be.
Now, right? Was that true? Is that true all the way back, including this one? So,
well, okay, because we know 8 has to pair with 1 for a 9.
Right.
We know 6 has to pair with 1 or 2 for 7 or 8.
Right. Now, 5...
Even if 5 paired with 1, 2, or 3 for 6, 7, or 8, it can't go higher because it can't go to 9 because 9's already taken.
So 4 can technically be 1, 2, 3, or 4. And that will give me 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
But 6 has to go to 7. 5. If you put 4 with 8, I guess 6 would go with 7 and 5 would go with 6.
I mean, if we did 4 and 4, that's what you're suggesting, right?
Right.
So if 4 and 4 made 8, then it would be 6 and 1 for 7, and 5 and 1 for 6. And right. Now, if 6, 7, and 8 is taken out, then 3 has to be paired with 1 or 2, 2 with 1, 2, or 3, and 1 with 2, 3, or 4. That would severely restrict things. Now, in this ring of 7, I can technically have up to 3 1s.
Right.
Because I can have 1 here, 1 here, and 1 there. I cannot make 4, because if I were to put him here and here and here, I don't have more room for any more 1s, right?
Right.
And I know I only have 1 1 in box 5. So I guess that maximizes my 1s at 4.
Right.
And one of those 1s is already taken up on the left side. So if these are my 3 1s, I can't have another 1. So that's 3 and 2 for 5. And then I'd have to also have 3 2s. To make that work.
Right, and to have 3 1s on the ring, you have to use the one in box 2.
Right.
And you can't do 3 2s. Oh,
So
well,
if I
one
did
of them goes
1
on
here,
the inside.
then I need one of them to be here, and one of them to be here, and it can't overlap, so that would be a 1.
Right,
Oh, and now I don't
5.
have room for 3 2s. As soon as I use 3 1s...
Oh, well, one of the 2s is on the inside.
No, these 2s are on the outside.
Oh, right. Yeah, that doesn't work.
So... Oops, too much. So that just
That
proved...
was allowing 4 to go up to 8.
Yeah.
Does it work the same way if we let 4 go with 3 for 7?
So we're saying 4 becomes 3 for 7.
Right.
6 pairs with a 2 for 8. And then 5 pairs with a 1 for 6. 6, 7, and 8 is all removed. So for 4 and 5, that's a 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Electron says hello. Hello, Electron.
Hello, Electron.
Go away, calculator. I don't need that yet. Well, the 3 has to be with the 2 or the 1. So that's going to be a 1 or a 2. And the 3 has to pair with a 1 or a 2. Right? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 required for the 1s and 2s. So then I would have to use a 3 or a 3, 4 So if I did... Actually, I should copy those. So if I make a choice where 3 is with 1 versus 3 is with 2, take off the end, those take off the middle. 1, 2, 3 ones. I can't have a fourth one. That forces that to be 5. And then that would be 1, 2 twos. And then a 1 or a 2. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This couldn't be a 2, so that's a 4. And that's a 3, which forces that to be a 1. I mean, the thing that we were trying to prove is that that had to be 1, 2, 3. Although that only happens when we picked 4 to be 7. 4 to pair with 3 to make 7. But everything is fixed if we learn what 4 is paired with. Now, does either of these work, is the question. So I have 3 1s in either case, so that would be a 1, and an 8. Electron, if you still have some time after this puzzle, I've got a really cool new puzzle that I haven't uploaded yet. Cool. Then this was our first puzzle for today, so yeah, either send it through Discord or upload it. Take the 6s out. And then... Oh, well this automatically fails. Because if I have 3 1s, I can't do 2, 4 for 6. Because this is where... Because I have to have a 1 in here, and I have to have a 1 in here. And if I also have to have a 1 up top, they can't overlap. So if I have 3 1s, it can't go here, because if it went there, I can't put both 1s there. And again, I can't put it in that corner either. So 3 1s doesn't work if one of the 1s has to pair with 5 to make 6. Does that make sense? Uh-oh. Mama, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, because I have to have 3 1s...
Well, and the only reason you have 5 and 1 is 6 is because you had 3 paired with 4 for 7.
Right.
So that doesn't work.
Yeah. Okay, so that backs up all the way to here. We take out the 3 and the 7. I guess the final choice here is to ask if we do 4, 2 for 6.
Yeah.
So, copy. I'm just gonna do this here. So if we do 4 and 2 for 6, that takes out 6 and 7, 8 as a possibility. And 4 and 5, 3, 4 and 5, 3, 4 and 5. And I have 1, 2 guaranteed, 1, 1 guaranteed, so that's 1, 2, 1's removed there. 1, 2, 3, 4 from 1s and 2s. And then maybe we ask the question between, this to be 1 and that one to be 2. So 4 and 5. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 3 and 4 would be those two. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This couldn't be a 2, so that would be that. And that. One, 2, 3, 4. And the 3 makes one of those the fifth one.
Well, 6 can't pair with 2 for 8 and 5 with 2 for 7. That would give you too many 2s.
Right. So that happens for 7 and 8.
Yeah. And then 2 would have to pair with 3 for 5 because you've already got 3 1s on the outside. And that's 2 2s on the outside. Okay.
Yeah. And 3 1s.
Right. No matter what, you're going to have 3 1s on the outside, and we know where those 3 1s go.
Yeah. But that was starting with 4 and 2 for 6. But right. I guess if I do 4 and 1 for 5, what does that do for us? Let's say, for the sake of argument, that this one isn't 1. I do not have 3 1s. So I've run out of 1s. And I can't do 2 for 5. Can't do 3 for 5, and I can't do 4 for 5. And I have enough 6, 7, 8s.
Well, and 2 would have to pair with 2 for 4.
One, 2, 3 2s.
And you can't.
And now I have a pair of 8s. So it doesn't matter what my options are. This is 1, and this is 1 and 8. So that's 2 and 4 for 6.
Right. And 1 and 8 is 9.
Oh, it doesn't matter. This was the 2 and 4.
Uh-huh. But we don't know if the 2 is on the inside or the outside.
The left column is the 2 on the inside, and the right column is the 2 on the outside.
I know.
So this was 4 and 2.
Right.
So that's our 6 and our 9 taken care of. So 1 on the outside pairs with either 3 on the inside or 2 on the inside, because this is 3 or 4.
And 1 on the inside pairs with 2 on the 2 or 3.
Yeah. Now, wherever I put 6, it must be paired with 1. So that can't be a 6, that can't be a 6, that can't be a 6. This must be a 6 paired with 1 to make 7. And that's our 7 taken care of. And now the outside is 1, 2, or 3, where that's a 3, that's a 2, and that's a 3. So this is 1 or 5.
Well, and 3 can't pair with 4 because that sums to 7. Oh, no, never mind. My brain's not working right.
And so I have 2 3s, but I already knew I would have 2 3s. So 2 on the outside is 1 on the inside, or 3 on the inside. Right? 1 and 3.
So circle 1 is, yeah. And row 5 is left with 3 and 5. Not helpful, but
it will be eventually. Okay. Then I think that's all we need the notepad for. Because we have 6 up here. So what else can we think about? If this is a 3, then that's a 3. Otherwise, that's a 3. So one of those 2 is 3. And one of those 2 is 3. It doesn't feel very helpful. I'm trying to think. Well, if this was a 1, that would be 4. That would be 3 and 5. 2 and 3. 5 and 8. Is there any conflict that, like, if I did... I think this was actually better aligned when I had it this way. Because we know the 5 on the inside has to go with the 3, so one of those two is 5. Now the 3 goes with the 1 or the 2. If it goes with 1, it makes it 4. And if it goes with 2, it makes it 5. So if this is the 3, then this is 4. If it's not, it's the other way around. Somehow we end up with a 1-5 pair. So how can we expand upon that? Because even if we know what they are, okay, well, one, 8, 9. 2 and 3, 6, and 6 is out of both of those. It's not super restricted. But we do know that 5 has to be one of those two. So 5 isn't either of those. That means
Well,
5
and we know in row 4, the 3 has to be in box 5.
Right. So it's a bit more helpful. 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 5, 7, and we don't have a 5, a 3, or a 1. And 2, 3, 4, 7, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, where neither of those would be a 2. And that would not be a 3.
Column 8, where do 1, 2, and 3 go?
Well, it'd have to go those 4, but it can't be there. So that's a 2 and a 1, 3 pair, which gives us 5 and 3. This is 4, 8 then.
Okay, look at row 4. Look at the superscript.
A 1 and 3 pair would break that. So we don't care about the superscript. 2, 3, 5, 3, 1, 5, 1, 3. 1 and 3 is 4. 3 and 5 is 8. 4, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5. Regular 4. 4, 6, 7. It's going to make that 2 and 5. 4, 6, 7 means
8, 9.
9.
4 and
4
7.
and 7. Alright, what's left over here in box 3? 3, 4, 8, 5. 1, 2, and 6. 6 and 1, 2. 6, 7, 9. 1, 2 pair doesn't do anything fancy quite yet. 5, 6, and 8. 3 and 4. 5, 4, and 3. I want to do that. So let's do this one instead. 5 and 6. 4, 9. 1 and 3, 4, 3, 8. 1, 3, and 8. 4, 7.
4, 5, 6, and 8.
4, 5, 6, 8. 4, 5, 6. But this is a 4, 7, 8, 9 quad. So these are 1 and 3. 1 and 3. 2 and 1.
5 can be placed in row 3.
4, 6, 7, 9. 4, 6.
6 can be placed in row 3.
Because that one is out of there. So that must be 6. 7, 9 pair. Places 4 and 7. 3, 4, 8, and 9. 7, 8, 9. 7, 9 pair. 4 and 6. 4, 4, 6, 7 pair. Places a 4. 7, 9 pair. 6, 3, 7, 9, 5, and 1. And 4 and 8. But that's 2, 4, 8, so that's not an 8. I guess that was the other way to go about it. 5, 4, 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 3 makes an 8. 5, 6, 8, 2, 4. Not 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 7, 9. 6, 7, 9, and a 5. 6, 7, 8, and 1.
Row 8 has a 5, 6 pair.
This is a 9 and a 2, a 7, and another 9. 3, 1, 7 is out. 8, 3. 5, 6, 5, 6. So these are fixed, and they are 2 and not a 9. 8, 8. 5, 6, 7. It's a 7. That's a 6. This is 5. This is the rest of the puzzle. Just have to put all the digits in. That was pretty tough. Here we go. And I don't think Odd von Lettering puts their puzzles on Logic Masters Germany.
I don't think so.
going to check anyway, just in case we find the one that is suddenly on there. But it wasn't. So, this is the one that's pasted. Alright. And Electron said they sent the link over Discord, so let me go grab that. Copy this link and paste it over here. Oh no! It's in a language I don't know how to read. At least the name of the puzzle is. Alright. Electron, tell me how close I am. Ice Druvier. Am I anywhere close? Ice Druvier. Actually, very close. Yeah. Alright. Although the V is more of an F. Ice Druvier. Ice Druvier? Yeah! First try. Good thing no one can check that I did not do that first try. Alright. Ice Drew Fear by Electron. Normal Sudoku rules apply. There are 7 instances of the digit sequence 1, 3, 4 appearing in 3 adjacent horizontal cells in that exact left to right order. Picky killer cages. Digits do not repeat within a cage. Each cage contains a single clue placed in a cell that comes first in reading order, top to bottom, left to right, within the cage. This clue represents the sum of all 1s, 3s, and 4s in the cage, or the sum of all digits excluding 1, 3, and 4. This was for the streamer Chatty Cathy's birthday, which was on the 14th of March. Nice. So I'm gonna have to reread the rules at least one more time, but probably twice. So we've got normal Sudoku rules. Then there are 7 instances of the digit sequence 1, 3, 4. Now, is the fact that this hyphen and that hyphen are different, is that important?
I think no.
I would think no as well, but they're different. I want to make sure. Okay. So the digit sequence goes 1, 3, and 4 in that exact order, appearing in 3 adjacent horizontal cells. I guess maybe I should have realized that it wasn't relevant because of the 3 adjacent horizontal cells. And I don't know whether or not that this is a formatting thing that is because of how it was entered on the into the puzzle rules, or if it's something that because I'm doing this in Firefox, if that is important, or what. But 1, then 3, then 4 appear in 3 adjacent horizontal cells in that exact left to right order. And that happens 7 times. Alright, Electron says they just entered it wrong. So, easy fix then. Picky killer cages.
Adding spaces in one and not the other.
Yeah. Picky killer cages. Digits do not repeat within a cage. Each cage contains a single clue placed in the cell that comes first in reading order, top to bottom, left to right within the cage. Oh, that's just saying that the cage has the clue in the upper leftmost box. Okay. This clue represents the sum of all 1s, 3s, and 4s in the cage, or the sum of all digits excluding 1, 3, or 4. Now, digits do not repeat within a cage. Okay. I think I understand the rules. All right. Are you ready, Mama?
Uh-huh.
Okay. 0. Well, that has to be the sum of all of the digits excluding... or including, who knows? Okay, well this 4 has to go this way. So that has to be those two. This 0 we know goes down. And this one, we know it's not the most leftward. Either that or it's not the most upper. But it has to go down. Now, I don't think this could be blue, because if it were blue, then it would be... because the clue would be in the wrong spot.
10.
Say again, sorry.
I said it's higher than the number in the cage.
Yeah. So we know that that's different. And it can't be red because then it would connect to the left. So... okay. So I can put 1 and 3, or I can put 4 and something else. But there's no way to make 4 without 1, 3, or 4.
Well, that's a 0, not a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the clue. Right.
Mm-hmm. So we can go leftward, but then we can't go up again. Or we could go rightward and be allowed to go up, but not more than 1. Now, if this was excluding 1, 3s, and 4s, then it would only be 3 big. And that would break this. So this is the sum of 1s, 3s, and 4s. Okay, with it being the sum of 1s, 3s, and 4s, that means it can be 6 of size 6. Maximum. Now, yellow, because it can't go left, it has to get up here. So it has to come around like that. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, minimum 6. Now, we don't know what the clue is for yellow. So, I mean, I almost want to put 1, 3, and 4 in there just because, but that would be guessing, and that's not allowed. Although, I think when I was thinking of 0, maybe try to figure out the consequence of the 1, 3, 4 runs. That's probably what I should have started with. Now with the 0, I think I said something earlier that it had to be excluding, but let's say it was including. Or no, excluding 1s, 3s, and 4s. It was the sum of all digits excluding 1s, 3s, and 4s. So it was only 1, 3, 4s. There's no reason why I couldn't put 1, 3, a 4, and like an 8. And have that just be there. So that is a possibility. So, okay. Alright. How do I do the runs of 1, 3, 4s? I know I have 7 of them. So that would be 1, 3, 4, somewhere in the first column. So then I could do 1, 3, 4 into the second column. And then I would do 1, 3, 4 in the third column. Because, okay. I was thinking, or I didn't think through it very clearly before, but how many runs of 1, 3, and 4 in that order horizontally can I even make? Well, I can only make 7, because first column, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column, sixth column, seventh column being where the 1s start. And if I tried to start that run with the 8th column being a 1, a 3, well, I can't put a 4 in the 10th column that doesn't exist. So I know that I'm going to have to do first column, second column, third column, all the way across. Now, I cannot, so wherever I put it in the first column, it eliminates 1, 3, and 4 from the box. So the second column must start in a different box, 1, 3, and 4. Now, just because it starts with the 1, the third column would then be here. So then the fourth column, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, except I can't do that, and I don't know why I tried to do that. It would go 1, 3, 4. But, okay, so if I think about the middle column of boxes, Brian waves. Hello, Brian. If I think about the middle column, because of what I've sort of drawn out, I have to have the digits 1, 3, and 4 in the boxes. Hello, how goes the game? Or Brian says, hello, how goes the games? This is our second Sudoku puzzle today. And the first one was pretty difficult. I'm not certain how difficult this one's supposed to be. I learned how to say the name of this puzzle today, and I got it pretty close on my first try, so I was pretty happy about that one. But this one, we have to place the digits 1, 3, and 4 in order from left to right, 7 times, and the cages tell us the sums of either the digits 1, 3, and 4, or the sum of the digits that are not 1, 3, and 4. But we don't know which one ahead of time. And it can be different from one box to the next. So the rules of this puzzle are I think I'm grasping the rules. But I agree with Electron that while it may not be the easiest rule set, I'm also sure that I'll get through it. That me and Mama will get through it. Yeah. Electron is the setter of this puzzle. So if you have questions about the rules, Electron can help you with those. Probably. But anyway, so my train of thought was that looking at the middle column, I mean, we already knew that we're going to have 1, 3, and 4 in the box, because that's just regular Sudoku rules. But if I specifically look at this 4, right here, I know that the 1, 3, and 4 has to take up either 1 row or 2 rows, and it can be broken like that, of the box. So either this goes 1, 3, 4 across like so, or this goes 1, 3, 4 like that. So that's how this row has to be, because we know that this 4 here cannot be made from digits that are not 1, 3, and 4. Because the smallest digit that I have available is 2, and then the next digit I have is 5, and I can't use 5, and I can't use 2 2s. So it must be made up of digits 1, 3, and 4. So it's either a 1 and a 3 to make 4, or it's just a 4. So if I think about the 0 part, specifically if I think about the 0 part where, let's say the 1, 3, 4 landed like this, right? 0 could be either the sum of 1s, 3s, and 4s. If it's the sum of 1s, 3s, and 4s, then how can I place the 1s, 3s, and 4s in this box? Well, if I did 1, 3, 4 like so, then how does that work for row 9? Well, it would just simply have to not be it would not have a 1, 3, 4 in it, in order. Now, does that mean that because because of the 1, 3, 4 thing, does that mean that I'd have to put a 1 here? Well, no. Because if I put a 1 here, where can I put 3 and 4 in this row? Because I should have sort of expanded on the idea of where I can put 1s, 3s, and 4s, but I know that the 3s are already taken up in all of these rows. So this is where I'd have to put a 3 in this row. So this can't be the 1, 3, 4. Because if it was, I'd have to put the 1 here. And then the 3 would have to be here, and then 4 there. Because I know that 4 is placed in all of these columns by the 1 and the 3 that preceded it. So, hold on. I want to go back to the thing that I was doing at the beginning. So if I put a 1, 3, and a 4 there, then in column 2, the 1, 3, and 4 would have to start in a different box. I don't know whether it's box 4 or box 7, but just ignoring what's happening in box 8, let's just put it there. And then I'd have 1, 3, 4 looking like this. And then in column 4, 1, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and then 7. 7 can be up here. Now, where's the 1 in row 8 and the 1 in row 9? Now, the 3s in these columns would look like this, and then the 4s would look like this. But then this one would clash. So that would have to be the 4. And that would have to be the 4. And now where's the 3 in this column? Or in this row? So if my understanding is correct, 1, 3, and 4 sort of wrap around the puzzle. Does it have to be in this type of pattern where it has to go like this? So if I were to look at this set going from left to right, because if I tried to shift this 1, 3, 4, then how do I do the 1, 3, 4 in this row? Well, I'd have to place the 1 in here. I guess I could do 1, 3, well then I couldn't put the 4 in here. So I'd have to place a 4. Yeah. Except for the fact that wherever I place the 4 in column 4, it must be preceded by 1, 3, 4.
Right.
So if I did it, so okay. So knowing that this has to go 1, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 4, then again, if I take a look at this one, then it's going to have to be, I'd have to place the 1 here, the 3 here, the 4 there, and then the next one is going to go 1, 3, 4. So this would have to be digits excluding 1s, 3s, and 4s. But if I did, one of the two digits would have to be not from 1, 3, or 4.
Right.
Which is impossible.
Either way, you don't get 0.
So this has to be 1, 1, 3, 4. Now this can't be yellow. And now this one's yellow, and we know yellow isn't blue, so yellow goes this way, and it can't go up, so it goes to here. And it's going to have to get above somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yellow must be this. And then orange is going to have to go up. It might go down, but it has to go up. And now we get 1s, 3s, 4s, and 1s, 3s, 4s. And we can't repeat the 4. Oh. Well, now I did something wrong. Because I can't repeat 4 in box yellow, in cage yellow. Because digits do not repeat within a cage.
But there's no reason it can't go up in column 8.
But orange, if orange was part of yellow, then this wall shouldn't be here.
If instead of going all the way to column 9 in row 9, in column 8 it goes up and then over. That lets you put a 4 in the corner.
Oh, you're saying there.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't very clear the first time, sorry.
Yeah. So 4, 3, 1. 1, 3, 4. Well, 7 has to be excluding 1s, 3s, and 4s. So, because I can't use 1, I can't pair 1 with 3 or 4 to make 7. This has to be a 7. I guess it doesn't matter how blue is. It can't have 1, 3, or 4 in it anymore. And red is done. And, well, yellow's essentially done. Now, if that's it, well, it doesn't matter. Yellow has all of the digits. Okay, 7. If this 7, well, I could just put a 2 and a 5 in it. And, oh, well, then I'd have to put, well, it wouldn't matter what I put. It could be 1 or 4. So either this is a 4, well, okay. All I know is that this says 7. It's the only clue that I know.
Okay, well, if you consider 7, can't do it in 3 digits because then, you can't repeat.
Yeah. If it
So
was these 3,
it would have to have 4 on top and the others be 2, 5.
well, it wouldn't matter if I did 2 and 5 on the inside here. Then this could be 1 or 4. It wouldn't matter.
Right. Or it's 4 on the outside and those 2 are anything.
Yeah. Or it could be both a 4 and a 2, 5. That would be hilarious. Although, okay, let's say this was a 4. Well, before a 4,
not. Well, I guess or can imply both.
Let's say it had to be a 4. Before a 4 would be a 3. What would this be?
Oh, that would have to be a 1, and
which would repeat. So it can't be a 4 here. So this is not 1, 3, 4.
Although the top of the 7 could be a 1. And then
yeah, it could 5. Go 1, 3, 4 this way, but it would still have to be
2 and 5.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way to make 7
yeah.
with the not. So that's got to be 1.
Yeah, so 1, 3, 4. And now we get 4 as one of these two. And 1, 3, 4. 1, 3. Now, this says 27, so clearly that cannot be the 1s, 3s, and 4s. But it has to be at least those two. And 45 minus 8, or I guess maybe I should think of it as 27 plus 8, which is 35. So it can't be 9 cells. But there's nothing stopping this from still being 1, 3, 4 there. But it can't go up. So It can't be 2 digits, so it has to be more than 2. And in 3, I can make maximum 24. So I have to grow larger, and now it's orange. Now, it could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well,
it could be... Well, 27...
doesn't necessarily have to join orange.
No, it does. Oh, you're right. Orange could be just those 3.
Yeah. I mean, it's likely it would join orange, but it does not have to.
You're right. Well, if it doesn't, it has to be these 5 going across. And...
What, 27?
Yeah. And if it is these 5 going across, it still has to have a minimum of 2 digits that are 1 or 3.
Right, which would make it 6, 8, 9. And then 1, 3.
But we can't include 1, 3, because it's the sum that excludes 1, 3s, and 4s.
Right.
So
I mean, it can still be in there, but you're not adding. Oh, right, for the 27.
Yeah. So...
Right.
So it has to join orange then, because there's not enough space to make 27.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So I was right, but for the wrong reasons. And it's better to be right for the right reasons, not the wrong ones. Okay. So now that we know that those connect, well, again, it could be maximum 5 digits. If I make this 1, 3, 4, then it would have to be in those 5. Well, I guess I could make 27 in 4. Can I make 27 in 4? It's 30 minus 3. I turn the 8 into a 5. Okay. Okay, to explain the logic I did there. 4 cells would be 6, 7, 8, and 9 for 30 maximum. To subtract out 3, I can turn the 8 into a 5, which removes 3 of the values, and it becomes 5 plus 6 for 11, plus 7 for 18, plus 9 to make 27. And that doesn't use 1, 3, or 4, so I could still do 1, 3, 4 like that, and make 27 without expanding this cage anymore. I don't know if that's helpful in the top set, but I wanted to do it anyway. Okay, well, what's the minimum I can make in 6 cells? Just gonna grab the calculator. So that would be 2 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, which would be 37. Which is all of the digits. So that's too much already.
Yeah.
So if I did 1, 3,
4.
Yeah, so 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. And now I think this has to be 5, 6, 7, 9. Um, 27 and 8 is 35, although it's... Wait, why is this doing weird stuff, Electron? I got a 27 here.
Oops.
Yeah. And the cage, it looks like the 2 cages sort of overlapped in the, you sent a link where that's still in? I mean, it's not, that big of a deal, because, I mean, it's already telling me information I know, but... I guess that was telling you that these 4 had to be... the correct 27. I mean, that's alright, yeah. We'll just add 38 minutes to the time. Not that I really care about the time.
Okay,
but I think...
one... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Just to double check, the only way to make 27 is, I mean, in 4. I mean, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 30. If I subtract the 6 to make a 3, that would be my minimum. Well, 3 and 4 aren't allowed, so it has to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it has to include a 5. And I can only remove 1 digit, so it had to be remove the 8. Okay, looks like I got the new link, so copy link. And then we're not going to have time for the rest of those, so doot. Okay, so we have a brand new puzzle here. Let me just think about this one real quick. 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. And think it was 1, 3, 4 there. 5, 6, 7, 8, except for the 8. And those two couldn't be 7. And
column 1, there's a 7 above the 1.
Right. And that can't be 4.
So it was
Because
a
I
1.
need 4 of one of these two. Yeah, 1, 3, 4, which makes 1, 3, and 4. And this one is orange and yellow. And I guess I don't need to do that in red. I guess I can go ahead and fill out the rest of this. 6, 8, 9.
And that 5, the cage in box 1 that says 5.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do 1 and you can't do 1 and 4.
Yeah, because
so that can't be a 4.
So.
Oh, wait a minute. I guess it could. Well, no, because then it would have to have. And
So I would do 4, 3, and 1, but the 1 and the 4 wouldn't be aligned. So if that was a 4, that could be a 1.
Right. The 1 would have to be clear over at this. So that doesn't. So that's not going to work.
So this must be a 3. Oh, it can't be any 3s.
It can't be a 3. Right.
Because I was about to say it had to be 2 and 3.
But it could be. It's going to have to be without. It'll be the sum of the non-1, 3, 4s.
Yeah.
So it's going to have a 5, but it can't be in the 5 cage itself. So it's going to have to be. That'll have to be a 4 and then a 5.
Yeah. 4, 3, 1. And because that ends, that's a 5. We get 8. Threes and 4s and 1s. So 1s, 3s, and 4s. Well, this 8, the only spot where I can... It's going to have to be non...
Right. 2 and 6.
Yeah. Yeah, because it can't be 3 that don't include it. So this is going to have to be the 1, the 3, and the 4. 1, the 3, and the 4. And yeah, 2, 6.
Leaves 7, 8, 9, and just for funsies.
Watch this be a 0 just for fun. For the troll purposes. Incredible speed solving. Sorry about that, Dale. No worries.
Well, and the 16 cages have to be excluding the...
Yeah. I mean, that part didn't give us any information we didn't already know. We already knew that that had to be the 27 in order to get that, but anyway. So 2, 5, and 6 is the minimum, but that's 13. So I need to add 3 to the minimum. So 2 is a requirement. So that's a 2. So now this is 14, which is 5, 6, 8, 9. And it can't be 6, 8, so it's 5, 9.
Five, 6, 7, 8.
Right. Seven is one of those. because it's ruled out of there.
Right.
2, 5, 6, 8, 9. 2, 5, 6, 8, 9. That didn't feel very helpful. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2. So then where's 2 in this row? It's there. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where those 2 aren't 2. And it can't be there, so that's a 2. And where's the 8 in this column? Well, it has to be one of those 2. So those aren't 8, and that's not an 8. It's not a 5. Okay, 5, 6, and 7 has to be one of those 2. So 8 and 9 are already in yellow. So 8 and 9 is out. Five, 6, 7. I don't know. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I know 2 is one of those 2. That didn't feel very helpful. Not 2, not 5. Since I don't know what restricts those, that's not helpful yet. What are these for? 6, 7, 8, 9? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 and 7 is out. 2, 5, no. 6, 7, 8, 9. But that's not a 7. Where's... I was about to say where's 2 in this row, but it's just one of those 2. Okay. This has to have a 9 in it, and one of those 2 has to have a 9 in it. So what does that mean about 9s in the rest of column 7? Well, that takes 9s out of those. How do I get any of these digits? I don't know. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 and 7, 5 and 2. Nine. Those two aren't 2, these two aren't 5. Okay, I have filled in the grid, and I don't feel like I've gotten additional information, so I need to think about ways that restrict things. Well, these 3 are those 3. So this... Well, this one has to be one of those 2, and it can't be a 7. But then I could place a 9 over there and get 5, 6, 9. And this 6, 7 can go there.
Electron said the one digit which is helpful here is 7. And yeah, in box 9, the 7 has to go center row.
Oh yeah. I did notice that earlier. Which I guess...
So 7's in box 3 and 9. Basically form an X-wing. So take it out of the rest of...
Right. Now, either this is 7, or those 2 are 7. If that's 7 and one of those 2 is 7, and that is 7. If those 2 are 7, one of those 2, one of those 2. Consider row 3. Well, if those 2 are 7, then I don't have 7 in row 3. So these 2 can't be 7. So 6 and 5. And this 5 has to be one of those 2. So 5. But I don't have 5 or 6 over here. 7 there makes that 8 or 9.
Top of the column.
7, 8, 9. 8, not 7, 9, 5, 7. Just do 6 and 7. A birthday cake. 6 and 2, 6 and 7, that's a 2, 6 and 5, 5, 7, 5, 5, 6, 8, 9, 7's out, 6 and 5, 5 and 6, 8, 9, 2, 7, 6. 9 pair places 5 and 2. I messed something up. 6, 2. I guess I didn't mess it up too badly because I removed a thing that didn't work, but there we go. Yeah, we did that in 16 minutes and an extra. Well, that. Oh. I guess we need to add 38. 38 and 16 is 54. Alright. And, Elytron, can I share this puzzle in the description down below? I don't know how often people are clicking on it. But do you want me to share this one? Yes, I can. Alright. And then are you going to put it on Logic Masters Germany? I'm assuming yes. So I will, okay. In that case, I will wait for, what would I rate it on difficulty? I would probably go with at least hard. The 7s here in row 3 was pretty tricky, but I would have gotten there eventually. Considering how the 1, 3, 4s operate, well, that's not too difficult. To figure out the striping pattern. It took me a while to work through it, but it's not necessarily difficult. I guess I would go with maybe on the lighter side of hard. Just because it's a little tricky to keep track of the 1, 3s, 4s versus not 1, 3s, and 4s. But as long as you can keep track of that and the 1s, 3s, and 4s going across, then I would say that that's difficult, but not tremendously so. Cool.
It didn't take us 3 days.
It did not take us 3 days. Yes. Who was it that commented the other day on the puzzle that took us 3 days? Comments. Demono came by and showed us some of the logic that we had missed out on. That would have saved us on some of it. I think that was the devious ability by free. I'm sure you remember that puzzle. Seeing as you made that one. But yeah. Alright. With that being said, Yeah. So, Electron, if you don't mind letting me know when you post that on Logic Masters Germany, if it's not already on there, I would appreciate that. Then that way I can link to Logic Masters Germany in the description. But I am going to go ahead and hop off. It is the time of nap. Awesome. Appreciate that, Electron. Anyone who watches this back, thank you so much. Pull this over here and go to the talking screen. There. Anyone who watches this back, thank you so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. If you are interested in other content on this channel, there is Sudoku on Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and Monster Hunter World on Saturdays at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. I've also been playing Final Fantasy VI sort of randomly. So if you're interested in that, make sure to ring the notification bell so you know when I stream Final Fantasy VI. But of course, it is posted in the playlist for Final Fantasy VI. After I beat Final Fantasy VI, I'm going to play Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 and 2. And then a friend of mine wants me to play The Last of Us. So I will try and get that during the summer sale. And then, yeah, if you are interested in seeing me do any other games on this channel or Sudoku puzzles, comment in the not comment in the description. You can't modify the description. That's my job. But make sure to comment down below. Aside from that, have a wonderful day, and goodbye for now.